Severe humanitarian crisis across the ECOWAS sub-region caused by conflicts, lack of basic services and climate change has pushed no fewer than 64.5 million victims into dire need of urgent help. Mr. Abel Enita, Permanent Secretary, Nigeria's Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, said that there was a pressing need to address the unprecedented levels of humanitarian crisis, which included food insecurity, displacement, and the urgent response required from each member state. According to him, the urgency of their collective responses is paramount to offer comprehensive support to all persons of concern and their host communities, leaving no one behind.
This workshop aims to provide a platform for collaborative efforts in mitigating the immediate and medium-term effects on displaced populations across our region. In light of the prevailing challenges characterized by violence, insecurity, armed conflicts, natural disasters, and governance issues, it is evident that our region is facing deepening humanitarian crisis. The impact is not confined to specific states, but resonates across borders, affecting neighboring countries and exacerbating the plight of vulnerable populations. It is imperative that we address these challenges collectively with a focus on protection, assistance, and sustainable solutions for those in need. As we proceed with the needs analysis, we must prioritize humanitarian access as a critical lifeline for those ensnared in conflict zones and emphasize the necessity of protection and assistance for all affected individuals. Our actions must be informed by accurate data and a commitment to inclusivity while acknowledging the persistent gaps despite ongoing efforts by member states and partners. The urgency of our collective response is paramount to offer comprehensive support to all persons of concern and their host communities, leaving no one behind. The federal government of Nigeria underscores this commitment through its ratification of the Kampala Convention and the launch of the National Policy on Internally Displaced Persons in 2022. This policy provides a robust framework for addressing all facets of internal displacement and emphasizes government's duty to protect and promote the rights of IDPs, returnees, and host communities.
ECOWAS Commissioner, Human Development and Social Affairs, who was represented by the Director, Humanitarian and Social Affairs, in her speech called for more intense collaboration to curb the victims' sufferings.
The key figures that has been shared with us by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees on Displacement as at December 2023 shows that 6,919,306 are forcibly displaced, of which 6,284,384 are IDPs, 634,92 are refugees and asylum seekers. These are not just numbers. Sometimes we just read them as numbers. And sometimes people say, but the numbers are not very high. These are not just numbers. These are human beings. These are our brothers and our sisters that we're talking about. These are the people that we live for, we work with, and we work for. So these numbers are really very important. UNHCR report for 2024 has put the figures of stateless population in our region to over 931,000. It seems as if the figure just keeps increasing over the years. In response to the increasing humanitarian events in the region, the ECOWAS Commission has consistently developed and reviewed its strategies in collaboration with member states. It is not only conflict, but we know the nutrition crisis. We tried to bring our regional food agency to share with us some of the data on the food and nutrition crisis. ECOWAS' decision to respond to this segment of the population in need is critically linked to the Global Refugees Forum pledges that all our member states made in 2023. Some of these pledges could be accomplished through joint actions and require concrete framework. Therefore, the overall objective of this workshop is to come up with appropriate data and information on the needs of population affected by the identified challenges to further close the response gaps and reduce the sufferings, which, if sustained, will ultimately close the gap in humanitarian development and the peace nexus. Permit me to use this opportunity to remind us all that we have an obligation to the people and the communities in situations of crisis and vulnerability. I urge us all to commit to the 9 commitments of the core humanitarian standards. As you present your work, as we discuss your work, let us not forget these 9 humanitarian standards.